Hey everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Emma's Happy List. I'm Emma and I can't believe that we have 8 episodes of Emma's Happy List already. I've been totally inspired by all of your shares, so the hashtag share your happy list. And today I'm joined by an absolute boss babe. So Emma-Louise Gregory, she is UK and Ireland sales director for a jewellery brand. I'll let her tell you all about it though, so here we go. Hey Emma.
Hi Em, how are you?
I'm good. Would you rather Emma or Emma-Louise?
You can call me Emma, that's fine. I don't know why I got a double barrel name, to be honest. I think my mum wanted to call me Emma and my dad wanted to call me Louisa. So they called me
Okay.
Emma-Louise, put it together, so.
Yeah, we have the same name practically, Emma-Louise here as well, but they didn't double barrel mine, so they just left us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Yeah, you look absolutely lovely for everyone who is watching and not just listening.
Thank
You
you.
thank you very much. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so happy that you could join me. And usually you can just do a little introduction here. I feel like you're the best person to introduce yourself because although I can go off on a tangent about how like captivating you are and what you do, you know yourself best. So
Okay, no worries.
take it away.
Okay, so I'm Emma-Louise Gregory and I am the UK and Ireland sales director for a global jewellery brand called Una de 50, which I'm wearing here.
And
For
they're
those that
amazing.
can see me. So it's like really chunky, unique, in bold statement jewellery, and I absolutely love it because I think it matches my personality. And on top of that, I'm a single mum to a wonderful 5-year-old, well, actually a crazy 5-year-old son. Called
Was he
Jacob.
wonderful when he was in school and now he's crazy because he's not
Oh
in
my,
school?
yeah, like I've completely given up on the whole homeschooling malarkey, and I just think he's 5. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. He's not going to remember any of this. So
Yeah.
if he wants to play Transformers, we will play Transformers.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I've had this conversation with so many of my friends who are homeschooling at the moment, and they're just like, I have just reached the limit. I can't do anymore. And I'm like, give yourself a break. You're not,
But
they're better if you are relaxed and happy, aren't they? Because that's the important
exactly.
thing.
And it's like we're in a global pandemic, so it's like, this is not
Exactly.
normal. Like none of us are trained to teach, so we can just teach them the rules of life, but that's about it, really, isn't it? So
Yeah, and it's much better if it's just more natural and what comes naturally rather than, the rigid sort of worry that comes with homeschooling. So I'm sure whatever you're doing an absolutely great job. So don't even worry about it. And then
thank you.
obviously that's rich coming from me because I don't have children. But yeah, I respect all of you and the job you're doing. So well done for that.
Oh,
And
thank you.
going back to your jewelry, so I think the first thing I ever said was to you was, "Oh, I love your bangle." I think
Yeah,
that was like the first thing. Yeah, that's the one. That's it.
yeah, it's really cool. It's like a cuff bangle. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I've been in the industry 16 years now, and I've been with Uno for 3 years, and I just love it because it's like so like exciting to sell something that you absolutely love, and to have a physical product that you
Mhm.
absolutely love. It's just so much easier than trying to sell like something like insurance or whatnot. So
Yeah, for
I feel
sure.
really lucky that I have the job that I love, and I work for a brand that I absolutely love as well.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. And you can tell, I think, being on the customer side as well, you can tell when someone is authentic about what they're saying and how much they believe in a product compared to, someone just trying to make commission or, but
Definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
when the motives aren't quite as pure, shall we say.
No.
So my big question then is, do you have a happy list currently?
I do. It's funny actually because I prior to obviously listening to your podcast, which I absolutely love, by the way, and I
Thank
just
you.
the fact that you're spreading this message of happiness to the world because we all need some.
I think so.
Um, so prior to that, I've always kind of found like keeping a gratitude diary. I found it really, really helpful. So I try and do that like every morning, even if I only think of 3 things. Even if I'm having a really bad day, I'll try and think of 3 things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
So when so I kind of like generally when I keep a gratitude diary, I focus on that particular day, what I'm grateful for that day. Whereas a happy list is, I think, is like you can actually really think like and outstretch your mind of all the things that make you happy. And
Definitely.
so, you know, since I started listening to your podcast, I have started to keep notes of like a happy list, and it's just getting bigger and bigger.
I know, it does get out of control, mind. You're like, oh
It
my
does.
God, life is so good.
I know, and I am so easily pleased. Like, I find the littlest thing like that makes me happy. You know, it could be like a random compliment from a stranger, or, you know, just little things like that just make me so crazily happy, and so I'm quite easily pleased. So I'm quite a good candidate for you today, because
Yeah, for sure.
it's not that difficult to drag something out of me.
Yeah, so I did an episode on gratitude, actually, and I went through like my whole journey and process of like adopting a life of gratitude. And I explained like how before I thought myself as a grateful person, but in reality I didn't wake up every day like, you know, I'm so grateful to be alive type of thing. Whereas these little practices, like you were saying, even if it's just 3 things in the morning, or even while you're brushing your teeth, that you are just completely present and aware of like how blessed you are and how lucky you are, that just sort of changes the way your day goes, doesn't it?
100%. And I found that like the days that I haven't given myself time to really focus on gratitude, or, you know, what makes me feel good, that those days don't flow as well. So it's like it's part of a ritual for me now, and if I don't do it, it definitely does something to my mind, because I'm not as kind of consistent when I don't do it. So
yeah, definitely. I feel like as well it really bookends my, like, I've heard this term before and I didn't realize that it applied to like the way I work, the way I live, I suppose. Like it bookends my days, so I start with it and I end with it, so it's like a complete little sort of one package. And I feel like that makes such a difference to the way I sleep then. And I sleep like, you know, I go to sleep feeling blessed and I wake up feeling blessed. Like,
oh, that's good. I like that. I should adopt doing more in the evenings.
yeah, just to, like, even like you say, while you're brushing your teeth or something,
Yeah.
just
No,
before
it's a really
bed.
good idea.
So you have a happy list then, as of recently,
Yeah.
and it's overflowing with things. Have you
Yeah.
chosen one that you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about one, because I've listened to majority of your podcasts, and I'm going to say something probably quite, some people might go, God, this girl's crazy, but I do have something I want to share. But
Go
do you
on.
want to go first, or me first? Is it?
You go first. You go first.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to say like one of the main things in my life that makes me happy is exercise.
Yes.
And people probably think I'm crazy when I say that, but it's like, if I kind of rewind time, so 20 years ago this year, I sadly lost my mum in a car accident. So it was just for my 14th birthday. And I went through like a really awful phase, put on a lot of weight, just felt absolutely horrific, as you can imagine.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I just really lost myself, and I didn't really know how to kind of make myself feel better. And then about a year after she died, I just started going to the gym, and I just from that point, I just didn't stop, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
So for me now, like if I'm feeling a bit crappy, I literally will just go and throw a weight over my head and I feel amazing. So for me, like exercise is like became my hero. So it's like a real big part of my life.
Yeah.
And if I go like about 3 days without exercise, I kind of can't clear my head.
Yeah, do you know what? You think people are going to think you're crazy. Well, they'll think I'm crazy too, because I am exactly the same. I am exactly the same. Like you said, it doesn't even have to be 3 days. Like one day without it, or what? Like if I've done nothing all day, there is like a cloud over my head.
Yeah,
I
100%.
feel it 100%. And like at the moment, I've sort of adopted a home working regime, because obviously of what, like the gyms are closed and stuff. But and I'm finding that more difficult, because I feel like when I go to the gym, it's like separate from everywhere else. I go there and it's a place where my mind can just like go on and do its own thing type of, you know what I mean? Like it's like a letting go type of
It
ritual.
is. It is 100%.
Whereas obviously I'm doing my fitness things at home at the minute, and it's like in my brain it just seems to merge with all the places that I just like lie down and slouch, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, there's no
yeah.
battery, like what do I do in this place? But I mean, I've got a calendar to help me, so I'm like ticking off the days to help me like stay motivated. But what are you doing at the moment? Because obviously
So
the gym is closed.
yeah, the gym was closed, and I was really dreading that because I think I've got a bit of a panic with it as well. It's like I don't want to undo all my hard work, and the main thing for me, I love like lifting weights. So obviously when the gyms were shut, I was like, oh my god. But I was really lucky because I managed to get kind of dumbbells before everyone went crazy and sold out. So and then I decided, I was the same as you, like it's really difficult to motivate yourself when you're in a place that you do everything, go to sleep, you know, do work, whatnot. So it's really, and obviously with a child as well. So I decided to sign up to Jen Johnson's lockdown, ladies in lockdown.
Oh, that's
so it's
awesome.
really, really good. So it's like there's times, there's about 2 different times on every day, the classes. So there's no excuse for me whether I don't want to train in the morning or the evening. And then she just kind of really kicks your ass and motivates you
Good.
to do it.
Yeah.
And because it's like on a Zoom call like this, and she's watching you and making sure that you're in check. It's really, really helped me.
Like, get that butt down.
Yeah, it is. And it does, and it feels like you put more pressure on yourself because I'm really competitive as well. And it's like today she set us a Pen-a-Van challenge, so we had to go up and down the stairs 200 times.
Oh my god.
I know. And I was just so competitive. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I did do it this morning, and I do feel really good for doing it now.
Yeah. So a bit of context for anyone who's not from South Wales. Pen-y-Fan is the tallest peak in South Wales. That's right.
Yeah. South Wales.
Yeah, it's not that high in comparison to other mountains, but it is a little like for a what is it, Friday morning, that's like fairly hefty workout.
Yeah.
Well done. That's really good. And then what are you doing to like relax? So obviously like in this time, part of your relaxation technique is like this exercise, and you've obviously got your son and work. Are you working?
Well, I'm furloughed, but I'm still like trying to forward plan.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not like obviously technically working, in my mind I'm still like making notes and trying to forward plan.
Yeah, and that is why you are sales director of UK and Ireland. And that's exactly the thought that went through my mind as well when you were like, yep, and I had my dumbbells before anyone else. I was like, that's why she's in charge, guys. That is why she's in charge.
I'm not one of these people that can just view this as like a holiday or view it as a break. I can't think like that. And I've never not worked. Like that's all I know to do is work. So, like from a very young age, I've had to be independent. So it's like for me that's probably been a really difficult obstacle. And when you ask me about relaxing, that's probably one thing that I'm not the best at. So I have been trying to incorporate a little more meditation into my life. So I'm just doing like 10-15 minutes here and there just to gain clarity and just to kind of breathe and calm down, because I am high functioning. I am constantly, my head is like all the time with all the things that these things I have to juggle. And so I do struggle with that element of like kind of self-love and relaxation and time for me. Like that is something that I do struggle with.
The reason why I asked you is because I am exactly the same. I really struggle with like switching off. I find it so difficult. There are a couple of really obscure TV shows that I watch. Like I don't watch very much TV, right? But there are like 1 or 2 that I will like proper binge watch. Like really obscure ones. Like, have you heard of Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
That's one of the TV shows that I can I'm really into. But in general, and maybe some other cartoons, like if I really am struggling for things to do. But in general, that is one of the hardest things for me is switching off, like, or just relaxing, or just, I don't know, like I feel like I'm good at self-care because my self-care is my like fitness, is my learning and like personal growth and self-development and all that sort of thing. So but relaxation, I don't know. It's a difficult
exactly
one.
the same. 100%. I totally get you with that, because I wish I knew there was a button I could just press, but I think it was actually you that told me about active meditation.
Yes, the 6-phase meditation.
Yeah. So I find that has actually really worked for me, because I'm not someone that can like shut off completely.
Oh, that's
So
amazing. So
yeah,
for the benefit of everyone who's listening, the 6 phase meditation, as myself and Emma know, it's a guy called Vishen Lakhiani. So he is the CEO of Mind Valley, which I may have spoken about before, I'm not sure, but it's a personal growth company. But his background is sort of, he used to be a meditation teacher, and he sort of realized that in the modern world, like, you can't just switch your brain off, like that's just not, it just doesn't work. So it kind of goes against like what a lot of people think meditation is, but in reality, his meditation sort of takes you along these 6 phases. So there's like compassion, gratitude, then you visualize your day going well, then you visualize your future, and all of these other ones. And I think there's a blessing as well, where you like basically believe in that there's something sort of bigger than yourself, not necessarily like religious or anything like God or anything like that, but anything that you believe in, or even like yourself.
yeah,
Like a higher power or an energy
yeah.
that you can tap into. And you do like a little high five or a little like, we can do this type of thing. So you feel like all throughout the day that you've got like, the power of the universe behind you, and your day is going well, and everything is going the way it should go for you to have like the most sort of perfect day. So I found it really beneficial, and what I tend to do is, that's like my morning thing. So that's kind of how I do my gratitude. So it's all mixed into like this 15 minutes, only 15 minutes as well. So it's really good
Yeah,
for people like us.
I know. You get so much done in that time as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. So I think there's videos all over YouTube, and you can go on Mind Valley as well and get them. But yeah, you've got that. And then at the end of the day, my meditation tends to be more like letting go. So I think I did an episode of like basically emulating what I do in the evenings, and like literally letting it all go, like literally letting everything go. And then when I do that and bookend my day really, really well, that's when I sleep really well.
Yeah,
So I do feel like there's a bit of power in those habits.
definitely, 100%. And I think, the whole purpose of you doing like the happy list, I think for those people that they go through a phase of just complaining about everything. Whereas if you just switch that and you start thinking, oh my God, it's beautiful outside, the sun's shining, like the trees look fantastic. It's just all those little things. And instead of what I've always taught myself from like all the audiobooks that I've listened to and whatnot, is like, when someone asks you how you are, instead of saying, yeah, I'm okay, you've got to go, I'm amazing, thanks, how are you? Because the more you like put that out to the universe, the more you do feel amazing.
Yeah,
so
definitely. It's like so I know there's a lot of people who are into the law of attraction, and like you attract what you like attracts like, and stuff like that. And like I actually used to get really stressed out with law of attraction, because I would accidentally think about things that I didn't want to bring into my life, and it stressed me out. But then I sort of flipped my way of thinking about it, and I watched what's his name, Michael Beckwith. I don't know if you've heard of him.
no.
He's like, it's not so much it's the law of attraction, but it's the law of resonance. So exactly like you were saying, what you resonate is what you sort of get back. And I was like, oh, that's an easier concept for me to get hold of, because in my head I'm like, I can resonate like happiness and love and joy, and I can resonate like good energy. But like, if it comes down to like the mental like thinking, of what I want, and then not thinking, what I don't want and that sort of thing, like I just ended up like tying myself in knots, just like I did when I was speaking about it. So you can imagine what goes on in my brain when I'm thinking about it. So rather than doing that, it's more it's this resonating what you want to come back to you, and being the change that you want to see in the world. So that's one of my favorite quotes, actually: be the change you want to see in the world.
Definitely. And I think it's also like, acting as if you've already got what you want, or you've achieved what you want. So it's like, I know it sounds really silly, but when I joined my company 3 years ago, I joined as an account manager, normal sales rep on the road, and I wrote on my goals that I wanted to be a sales director. So I kept writing my name, Emma-Louise Gregory, UK and Ireland sales director, and I would look at this piece of paper every day. And then I was promoted within 19 months of being with the company to sales director, and it was just like,
you were resonating that director energy, girl.
I already had it. So,
that's amazing. I'm really, really, really glad that you shared what you were going to share, because I had like, knowing you as I know you, I had a feeling it would be something about like health and fitness and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And one of mine on my happy list actually is feeling fit, healthy, and attractive.
Yeah.
Now, that obviously this is like open to interpretation, because I didn't put looking fit, looking healthy, or looking attractive, because it all comes down to feel it, like the feeling, isn't it? If you're not feeling those feelings, you're not going to be like glowing, you're not going to be sort of resonating what you want to resonate. But my journey, so thank you for sharing where your fitness journey came from, and all of your background and history and stuff. Thank you for that. It's really nice to, the motivation behind people is obviously really interesting and nice to know, and it helps other people then that are maybe going through something similar to like access these tools. So, but mine came from about 7 years ago. It was 7 or 8 years ago. I've always sort of been into sports, right?
Yeah.
When I was in university, I did let myself go a little bit. There was a lot of drinking. There was a lot of like 2 for Tuesdays with Domino's. There was like a lot of student food and that sort of thing. I was still playing netball and stuff, but I definitely was nowhere near the fitness level that I'm usually at. And I did feel like I was letting myself go, and it was either going to go one way or another.
Yeah.
And then in my final year of uni, my friend asked me, she was signed up to do the London to Paris cycle. Okay, and she was doing it with her friend, but her friend dropped out, but they'd already spoke to the charity, they'd already told the charity they were going to raise X amount of money. She didn't feel like she was able to do it by herself, and she wanted to do it with a friend. And she asked me, she was like, do you want to do the London to Paris cycle? And in my head, I had like images for myself, like a little basket and a beret and like a baguette. And I was like, oh, it's downhill on the map, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. So in amongst all of this, so that I think she asked me in like March, and the cycle was in September. So obviously it's my final year of uni. So I graduated. I got a job straight away up in Worcester. So I relocated. The training was at like the back of my mind. Started this new job. I was like, oh, I really should start like maybe training. Maybe. And I hadn't even been out on the bike. I didn't even have a bike. I used my dad's bike, right? And it wasn't a road bike. It was like this hybrid, like chunky thing. So I was completely unprepared, essentially. But about a month before, I was like, oh my God, I really need to get my shit together. So what I started doing was we had in the office, we had a gym downstairs. So I was going to the gym. I signed up to the netball team up there. So I was playing netball like twice a week. I also signed up to a company called, it was called BMF, and it was British Military Fitness at the time, but I think now it's Be Military Fit. It's like this franchise where
I remember that chain.
Yeah, they do like outdoor classes, and I love being outside and stuff. So I was like, oh yes, that suits me down to the ground. So what I used to do is I used to finish work, I used to go to the gym downstairs until it was time to go to netball or BMF, and then I'd go to theirs. But I because I filled my week up, so every single day of the week I had something fitness related. Without knowing it, I got myself into this habit of exercising every single day. Okay, and like the weight dropped off me. All of a sudden I was really interested in eating well as well. I was like, oh, I'm not exercising all of this off just to sit down and eat like 2 Domino's pizzas or whatever. So I ended up getting myself into this routine. And don't get me, like, I was a month is not long enough to prepare for like a 300 odd mile cycle, but I did the cycle. The first day was absolute hell. Like, it was hell. I look back at it now and I'm really proud of myself, but at the time, like, how did I do it? I have no idea how I did it. I think it was just pure like stubbornness, like just so
willpower.
Yeah, it was. And we were the least fit people there. I thought these charity bike rides were like full of people like us that were just doing it, the challenge and stuff.
Yeah.
But these guys, they go like cycling 100 miles every weekend. They just they just do it all the time. So yeah, that was a big eye opener. But yeah, each day got a bit easier. Well, I say that the second day, the first 10 miles of the second day, I like cried, I think, the entire time because my muscles were tight and sore after like 90 miles on the first day or something.
I bet the seat as well, that'd be so uncomfortable.
So much Vaseline, so many places.
Yeah. I can't imagine how uncomfortable that would be.
Yeah, I think my friend still has like a video of me basically getting into like an ice cold bath and like screaming in the hotel, like, this is torture. But yeah, it was a really, really big turning point in my life though, not only because of that challenge,
Yeah,
but because it was like my complete switch to, oh my God, health is everything. Like I've
yeah.
been neglecting my health. And when I neglect my health, I literally neglect every other area of my life.
100%. Without health, you've got nothing. You can't achieve any other goal without having health.
Exactly. And that I'm like, I've never ever, so I don't like diet or anything like that, but like I'm very aware now of when my activity levels sort of drop.
Yeah,
But I've never ever let myself get to the point that I was when I was in university, for example. I've always like kept myself since then on track. But it was just that, I think that training just got me into that habit. I was saying about the power of habit.
yeah.
It got me into that habit of training every single day. And then of course, after that, I about a year after that, I went to Italy for the first time and I did my first ski season, which
Oh,
changed my life again. So my whole sort of life since then has been about maintaining my fitness, maintaining my health, and like every other part of your life sort of improves from just those two little things. So
well, skiing's actually on my hit list because I've never skied in my life. I know.
oh my
I've
God,
always
let's go.
been like, I'm always like up for trying anything, and that's the one thing that I've never got round to trying yet is skiing or snowboarding or
Oh my God, you would
yeah,
absolutely love it. I can
yeah.
definitely see you in a pair of skis.
I'd love it. I haven't got like a high fear factor because I think I'm very much like you only live once, like just do it.
Adrenaline junkie.
Yeah. I just, and when I was growing up, because I grew up with my brother, he was like into skateboarding and rollerblading. And so I kind of got into all that as well. So even though I look like a girly girl, I've actually got like a bit of and I went to army cadets. And so I have got like a bit of a laddish side to me that people don't realise because I'm always like look like a girly girl because I have to because of my job, and I love making an effort anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've also then got this like geeky side, so I love like technology and I love computer games, and like I've got like so many sides to me. It's really,
But that's
really
like, I
funny.
feel like that's part of like your radiance, isn't it? Like you radiate like what, I don't know, you've got a lovely personable sort of try anything can do attitude, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's what draws people to you. It's because you have like this energy that, yes, let's go skiing.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be well up for that, honestly.
Yeah,
I'll round the troop up with that. Come on, girls, we're gonna go
oh
skiing.
my God, a girl ski trip, that is like dreams.
Yeah,
My ski trip, so I did my seasons, which are all very much like so you work hard, play hard type of thing. Like you do work
yeah,
hard, but there's always like a group of you, and that's always good. But then since I've left like my rep-in sort of days, all of my ski trips have been sort of me going out to my friends that are still repping, or me going out to my friends that live in the mountains and stuff like that. And it's like a very different sort of like it's very different. It's not like a big group of people getting together. So to do like a group ski trip, like that would be
yeah.
phenomenal.
Where do you go? Do you go to France or do you go to Italy, should you say?
I mostly go to Italy. I've been to Austria a few times.
Oh my God, that looks so beautiful when I've seen
Yeah,
pictures of Austria.
it's amazing. I've been to France as well, and then I've been down to New Zealand, but I've got a couple of other places on my hit list. Like I really want to go to Japan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the skiing in Japan is phenomenal from what I can tell.
Oh my God.
And I've never been to Canada either, so I need to do Canada.
Canada's meant to be beautiful as well, isn't it? Like all the mountains and it's meant
Definitely.
to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's I absolutely love it, but yeah, to have like a group of people as well, that just makes it like next level. Do you know what I mean? It's super
Yeah,
fun.
100%, definitely.
I feel like it's one of the most fun holidays you can ever have. Like you can obviously have your beach holidays and they're all good, but they're very sort of relaxing and
That's the thing. It goes back to what me and you were saying earlier about relaxing. Like
it's probably why I'm terrible at beach holidays.
I go on holiday and I'm like, right, where can we go? What's on the agenda? Like I can't just lay there.
Yeah.
And in the sunshine, I get bored, and I'm like,
there are people listening to this right now, like, what is wrong with these two? Why can't they just sit down? I can enjoy the sun.
I can't. I'd be like, come on, let's go and explore. Like and it's like, that's why I always like to go somewhere different every year as well. I'm not someone that just goes on holiday to party constantly. I want to go out and I want to experience the culture, the food,
Same.
like everything.
Yeah, that's kind of what's led me around the world as well, really. Just the want to sort of integrate into the cultures and like to really sort of experience the cultures and the like butchering languages. I do apologize to everyone who's heard me speak like foreign languages, but yeah, at least you try. They love it, you know, they love a trier. So that's me.
Well, you know, we are like the laziest nation because we don't need to learn languages because everyone learns English. That's their first language they learn at school, isn't it?
I know. It's really complacent of us, but I'm a bit conversational in Italian now, which I should be after living there for a couple of years. But yeah, in general, as a nation, I do try and make an effort with like the pleasantries and stuff like that. But yeah, they really appreciate it when you know a couple of phrases, or they can laugh at your like how you pronounce them and stuff like that. But yeah, that's one of my things as well. So definitely let's organize a group ski trip. Let's go.
Definitely.
Well, not right now, but maybe like hopefully by next
yeah,
week.
when all of this is over.
Yeah, hopefully. So this is the part of the podcast then that you can sort of promote yourself and your Insta handles and or any other business that you want to promote and just get a word out there to as many people as are listening. So do you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, of course. So obviously anyone that wants to follow my crazy life, I am Emma-Louise 32 on Instagram, which that's a lie because I'm 34 this year. And the company that I work for, the jewelry brand, is Uno de 50, which for easier way to say it is Uno de 50. And obviously shout out to Jen Johnson Fitness for keeping me sane during lockdown, and probably Tanya Spence Kelly, who's currently running for PMDD. She's running and singing at the same time. So
oh my god, I'm getting Tanya on 100%.
Yes,
she's coming on
too. So she's going to be probably listening to this as she's doing her running. And obviously all the girls all the women at Girl Boss, because they the ones that brought us all together really. So Emily Fender, good shout out to you. I know she was with you last time. So but yeah, just a shout out to everyone who's trying to stay sane during this crazy time, and 100%. And everyone needs to give themselves a break and not put pressure on themselves to be a certain way when it comes to parenting or whatnot. Just kind of understand that we're in a pandemic and you just have to really get to know yourself and kind of reset and refresh and work out what you want to do with your life. And I think this is the prime opportunity to do that. So
the great pause, that's what I'm calling it, the great pause.
I love that. And also kind of one other thing I want to touch is, like, you know, for those of you that go through a bereavement, you know, I lost my mum just for my 14th birthday, and then I lost my dad in February this year. But, you know, when I know it sounds a bit of a morbid thing to say, but like the way that I've kind of recovered from my losses is that I've kind of taken a step back and I've kind of looked at my experiences and thought, what have I learned from this experience? And what I've learned from losing my parents is that life is so precious, and it can be taken away at any opportunity. So you have to just live your life, and you have to just love the little things, because, you know, otherwise it's just you're wasting your life, and it's not worth it.
100%. What have you learned from the experience, and also what you can share with others, so that I think this is one of the ways that you can sort of get that message out there. So thank you so much.
That's no worries. I am still in the throes of writing a book, but one thing I called the name of the book that I'm writing is called Mission for Mum. So again, when you lose somebody you love, it's like, make it your mission in life to live your life to the fullest in honor of that person that you've lost.
100%. That's so lovely. That's such a like positive sort of spin on something that can sort of really derail people. And it
Yeah.
comes back to that, doesn't it? It's all about perspective. So when you wake up in the day, like in the morning, you can either be like, oh, it's raining outside, today's going to be a bad day, or you can be like, oh my god, I've got like a lovely warm house, I'm going to go like brush my teeth and it's going to be amazing, and then I've got
Exactly.
fresh clean water, and
Yeah.
it's all about perspective, 100%. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. I'm really honoured that you've invited me on. So thank you.
I was like, yes, definitely, as soon as I saw you. And then for anyone else who wants to follow along with the journey and follow along with all the podcasts and episodes, so you can subscribe on YouTube or on Spotify, and you can follow me on Instagram if you want to. So I finally got around to changing my Instagram handle. It's no longer EXLP, it's Emma's Happy List. So really straightforward and easy to find. And apart from that, thank you ever so much once again, and I guess we'll catch up soon for our planning our ski trip.
Oh, 100%. And we'll pin the women down for that. Laura,
Yes.
Tanya, like, you're on it.
Yes, definitely. I'm like dead keen. Like, you give a girl like a bone now. I'm off with it.
And then you can kit us all out. So happy days.
I can kit you all out. Yes. Until next time, Em.
Thank you.
Speak to you soon. Ciao.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.